Sorry. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Quyen Nguyen, and I'm from Vietnam. And I'm here today to tell the story about IMPRINTS on Door. It's about traditional Vietnamese paper, and that is gradually disappearing. And my project IMPRINTS on Door was born from that concern. Driven by the industrial boom, young people leave their villages to find better employment and opportunity and higher income in urban areas, a relentless way of migration that leave villages empty. So I chose Trung Tâm Phong Tự Hạ because it is my hometown. And here I have watched my friend live one by one, leaving behind empty village. And Phong Tự Hạ is a typical miniature hometown to various ethnic minority, predominantly the Reza people. And they possess a district identity deeply rooted in ancestral worship. Yet behind that cultural depth, livelihood remains fragile. And door papers have various applications in the Reza light. It is used for ancestor worship and festival, especially Kapsak is the most vital ritual. It's marking man transits to adulthood, and it is recognized as a national intangible cultural heritage. And door papers is traditional Vietnamese handmade. It's made from the bark of door trees, and it is a simple handicraft that preserves the culture and connect the past, the present, and the future. It's made from door trees or bamboo, and this paper is highly durable and has a rustic scent and many convenient applications. But, however, the paper-making craft now an emergency stated. It's the phase extinction due of the industrial papers. And today the master artisans are on over 70 years old. This means we have less than 10 years to pass down this knowledge before it is lost forever. So we're back to the question, why must young people leave? Because if they stay, the income from agriculture is only about $132 per month, not enough to shoulder the family burden. Meanwhile, in industrial zone, that number can reach up to 470 per month. And this gap is not just about money, it's a choice for survival. And in addition, 90% of their income depend on monoculture forestry. And after 50 years cycle, a natural disaster can leave them with nothing. And in 2024 and 2025, more than 200 landslides destroyed their last hope of holding onto the lands. And the paradox is that sheet handmade in village is cost only about 5,000 Vietnam dong, not enough to buy a bread. While its potent values international record can reach up to 50 to $200. And we are standing on a gold mine of cultural heritage, but we are wasting 95% of these values. So, my project responds to both present and future by creating symbiotic cultural economic ecosystem. Here, local tribe on their craft is valued in through experiential tourism and knowledge sustainable passed down, so heritage is never forgotten. And in Herdings, I systemize the groundhouse architecture and still have architecture into foundation zone where working and cultural preservation harmoniously connect. And the space is organized following its journey. First is the memory block. It is look, understand, and feel. Next is resurrection block with a 4 process production complex is and next, final is the spread. It's a souvenir shop to open up the future for the heritage. And it just space integrate a rainwater harvesting to system utilizes water shock directly for the complex product productions. And I use local and recycled materials to continue the length of the memories, letting them tell their own story. And we have still how for the past story woolen palm leaf root for natural colorings, and dirt wood with water wrap tube for the wood and traditional rammer earth. Together, they create a sustainable space caring about the soul of village. And first is memory blocks, is starting with still house architectures, and the lowest floor is for reception, while the upper floor is for exhibition areas. And the ventilation panel is stylized from Markup Ban Vương. It is our ancestor symbol. And first is artifact displays have visitors clearly understand the doll paper making process and tooth. At the same time, they can feel the spiritual through the video projection and painting simulating the paper making process. And next to it is suspended doll paper ceiling inspired like drying rack, like layers of memories in the space. At the center is the restore set name painting a traditional painting name Tứ Phủ Công Tảo, and with a wooden display cell covered with straw. And next to it is the two-side display, worksheet painting and scene document. I multiple thick layers of doll paper joined as together as a backdrop for handing to beautify the materials. And here, additional information viewing kiosks are arranged in digital art viewing space to digitize the entire archive of the red cell painting worksheet and ancient documents. And after the stand, we experience and understand the craft tourism process to restoration block. It's a where heritage turned into livelihood and tourism. And first is the main, and the design is around how architectures feature with ventilation panels. It's a tree's motif is symbolizing the gratitude to nature. And the first is main paper production zones, including the pre-processing and forming areas. And the forming areas, including the stock areas and the kitchens. The two sides space is separated by flexibilities. It can be easy change. And next is the forming areas where the paper shape, press, and dry either outdoor or indoors. And the wooden ceiling features a spotlight hanging on nong nia. It is a familiar item in Vietnamese kitchens. And next to it is the shelf and vat inspired by Highland Kitchen Loft, where is memory and technical access. And after drying them, the paper transfer from to do lab. This is our R&D space support innovation, and here artisan and expert collaboration to development new paper from other indigenous materials. And the first is a material research feature with larger scope blends and recent of cost. Quarters doll paper ceilings and displays where research new materials like raw plant, and inside its operation room is centered around a main table with a doll paper ceiling and pander lining system focused on doll paper applications. And next we move to experience. Is workshop areas where a key factor expanding experience tourism and bring the heritage code to the public with a area reposting to basic application of papers. And first is the fiber zone for hand-on traditional experience. Here, visitors can mix natural materials to create unique papers based on their preference. And next is the halo zone offer for handicraft lamping experience, and with the stylized natural pattern on shelf and worship painting on the lamp. This space is strongly remind visitors of indigenous roots. And next is the prints and drawing zone for printing and drawing watercolor experience. Here, visitors can use the red gel palettes to to the of the industrial ink, create the clear, eco-friendly artwork. And next is stick zone for handicraft and stationeries, and the red dot fan are hung from the ceilings, make the space lively and rich in identity. And my journey and with the spread block, it is souvenir shop turning cultural economic values and feature a ground house architecture with the cross motif for Redzao identity and plus areas area for local specialties. And the shop opened with the handicraft retail areas. And today, I would like to present the jury some doll paper as a souvenirs and thank you gift. And it's an introduction to the traditional materials. And the space is decorated with the paper fan and threads on wooden frame symbolizing luck, connect, and a Redzao community spirit. And next to it is a signature collection with unique artisan collaborations. Inspired by the Kapsak ceremonies, the center is surrounded by layers of doll paper and ritual paintings. And next, we move to the art and prints areas. It's a really made doll paper painting line in the red refined display self and with the lining. And final is there's paper and light areas. Itself various paper alongside cell and podium display lamp. The outside is the cashier desk decorated with traditional costume and cross motif patterns on the front. And from the solution I have present my project at the sustainable development goal, and it creates a harmoniously development model between the people and economic and the natures. And the complex is applied technology to digitize the artisan knowledge, building a digital library and e-commerce platforms. And we also are integrate QR code for each product to bring the heritage close to the communities or global stake. One or three products is now awake and elevated through this project. It leaves villages for global stake, carry about the culture stories, and this open livelihood, revive fair, and inspire the youth to proudly return and continue the heritage story. And this model can be replicated for any worldwide through artisan trainings. We can build a living heritage network, empowering the local community to become the agent of conservation. And that's my conclusion presentation. Thanks so much, Dr. and everyone, to listen and join me on this journey in Prince Outdoor. It's this journey to awake our heritage. Thank you.